On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And we're back with another Thursday full of spooky...
Pookie.
Girls.
Dookie.
Yeah. Oh my God. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody. And we're so sorry for your loss. The Pope.
Oh my God. The Pope passed away.
Pope Francis. Did you see him?
Yes. I saw him being carried around in his little box.
Yes, laying in wait at St. Peter's Basilica.
Not the notes.
I've got notes, and he was
Oh, yes.
gray.
I know. My God. I wasn't going to say it, but somebody could have done something. A little foundation, a little
the
color
Pope.
match, you know?
He's the Pope.
He's
Okay.
the Pope.
Give him a spray tan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Seemed like a great guy.
Yeah. For everything I've heard, out of all the popes,
Yeah.
we know him. Okay, well, no, actually, what's crazy is that I'm going to be in Rome probably when they announce who the new Pope is. Yeah.
Have you seen that, like, Nostradamus?
Girl.
He said that this will be the last Pope. There won't be another Pope.
You know what's crazy is that I went through like I was telling the champ this the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I downloaded Gaia, which is it's like a Netflix, but it's very like a woo-woo Netflix kind of.
Oh,
it's like
you watched
you know Bashar, the alien
yeah.
channeler?
Yeah.
He's on there. He has his own shows on there and stuff.
Oh, love him.
Because I was just like in that mood to watch things like that.
Yeah.
The reason why I downloaded it was because I used to watch, like it was on the History Channel, used to have like this program about Nostradamus.
Okay.
And I was obsessed with it. I was like,
Really?
this is so good. Yeah. It was crazy, all the different predictions and stuff he had that came true.
Mhm.
And so I was actually trying to find that the other day, and then something else popped up that was sponsored by that Gaia channel. And I was like, well, I want to see all the shit that's on here too.
Oh, is it free?
No.
How much is it?
I don't know.
Oh. Wait.
What?
We have to talk about charging my card.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, so like we're in business together, for those of you who don't know. We quite literally have like a bank account together.
Yeah.
Which we laugh about all the time because we don't with anyone else, but we have them with each other.
I see security alerts come through, and I know that it's you because you'll text me and be like, what's the code? And I'm like, I literally trust you with my life.
You just send them.
Be taking everything.
We do it to each other all the time.
No, I know.
Like, it'll be like, different logins for things. But the other day I was trying, because like we have, I don't know, a business together and there's expenses with that. And so I was going through and
we have some things set up on auto pay.
Yeah. And then I realized, I was like, oh shit, I should look at I saw we got charged a chunk of money for something. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to look at my bank account because
You're like, I think Madison owes me some money.
Yeah, I was like, I think you owe me a couple grand, girl. Surprise. Plot twist. I had her card saved on my computer and I'd been charging things to her card. Like, nothing crazy, but like, I think it was like, yeah, which goes to show I'm horrible. Like, I have so many friends who will be like, oh, there's a weird charge on my account or something.
Especially right now. Bring it back to moving. But when moving, like there's so many different expenses that I'm like not even paying attention. I'm like,
I just don't look at my charges on I know I should. Like this is, but I mean, like I'm fine. I'm really good at saving. I have a financial advisor. Like I'm really great at that, but I'm really bad at like looking at
Like the
what
daily.
is being charged. Yeah, I never look at what's being charged in my account. But that being said, I will like once a quarter go through probably and be like, okay, what subscriptions am I paying
Oh,
for?
that's good. Yeah.
And that kind of stuff, just because sometimes you end up like double paying, or sometimes you don't even realize. I'm like, why am I paying for that? I don't use that.
I'm paying for our own Patreon.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
I know.
I think actually I am.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, I was charging your card and I loved it. One time that happened to me too, though. My sister, I got like a notification on my phone that was like, it was expensive. It was like a couple $100 being charged for DoorDash. And I was like
shit.
home alone and I'm like, well, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was being delivered to my sister's house. And I was like, I think you have my card on
Oh,
your,
I've
on
done
your
that.
thing. And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, I do. Whatever. We have the same pot.
Yeah, same pot.
I was actually up, speaking of my sister, in SF last weekend.
Yes.
And I got to give Leo his little electric car, which was so cute.
He looked so cute driving that thing.
Cool guy.
He's such a cool guy.
Cruising. And it was one of those things where it's like, I obviously want to be his favorite person, right? I'm Uncle Cool.
Uncle
So I
Cool,
want to be
yeah.
Uncle Cool. I'm like, please love this. And he was in it. I couldn't get him out of it. And
Oh, I
was
love
like-
it.
I was like,
You hit the jackpot.
oops.
Oops.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Secretly
Is he
loving it, though.
talking?
Yes, he's at the best age right now. He's almost 2. And so now he's got full sentences. He understands things like when you tell him to like do something, like
Yeah.
he'll go do it. He fully talks though. Yeah.
Did he say anything funny?
No, but today I was asking him because he had a swim lesson today, and my sister said the instructor was like this crazy Russian lady who was like not nice at all. And she's like, it was a terrible experience. And then he wanted to FaceTime me. He's like, I want to FaceTime Uncle Cool or whatever. And so he
Aw.
FaceTimed me, and I was like, hey, bud, like, did you have fun at swim today? And he said, no. I was laughing. I was like, valid. Like, that is.
Yeah.
I like directness.
I know.
I like not beating around the bush. And kids will fucking, we always talk about this. They fucking tell it how it is,
Tell it like
whether
it
you
is.
like it or not.
Well, speaking of Easter just happening, remember at Easter a couple years ago, my niece looked at Cisco and I, and she was like learning shapes. And I've told this before, but she was like learning shapes and sizes and stuff at school. And she looked at us and she said, "You guys are fat." We were shook.
You get fucking clocked.
Clocked.
One time, so my sister and my mom both used to work at this school,
Mm-hmm.
and my sister was a kindergarten teacher, and my mom taught with like the special needs class.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go read to them one day, and I was wearing like Chelsea boots, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the little kids was like, "Hey, why you got lady shoes on?"
Lady shoes.
Clocked. Oh, shit.
Oh God, leave it to a kid, man.
I know. Always just fucking it's wild. Absolutely wild. Well, I had that the Pope died in my notes too. So
Oh my
you
God.
stole that from me. You know what movie we watched the other night though?
What?
Heretic or Heretic?
Heretic. How
So-
was it?
Oh my God. So good.
He like locks 2 girls in a house.
Yeah, it's
kinda
like 2
thing?
Mormon missionary girls. They're like going around doing the whole like
Yeah.
knocking on doors, and they end up getting stuck in this crazy guy's house. And I won't give anything away, but it's so fucking good.
Is it scary?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's well, yeah, it's like scary, it's like tense. It's my favorite kind of movie because you're just on edge, like, what the fuck is gonna happen? What the fuck is gonna happen? Are they gonna get out? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And it's dark. It's wild.
Okay.
It is wild, blew my mind. I thought it was incredible. And honestly, like, I'm not somebody who has this deep, extensive understanding of film.
Mhm.
I would say I have, like, I don't know what my palate is.
Just
It's
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I like movies, you
Yeah.
know? But I thought it was incredible.
Okay.
And A24,
They always do good.
yeah, sometimes. But sometimes I get bored. Like, A2 bore.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's too out there.
Sometimes it's too out there. Yeah. Or too, like, okay, we get it. You know what I mean? You know what the worst movie I saw this past year was that Josh Hartnett one, Trapped.
Wait, I had such high hopes for that. I still haven't seen it, but
Terrible.
I remember the previews seemed so cool. But isn't it M. Night Shyamalan or whatever?
Yeah, and the whole film, it's just like he starred his daughter in it.
Josh Hartnett?
No.
Oh, M. Night Shyamalan. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
He put his daughter in the movie as like the star in it, and
Got it.
I didn't think was great.
Okay.
So it felt very much like I'm not against. I love a nepo baby.
Oh,
actually,
so do I.
love a nepo baby more, and you would do it if you had the opportunity. You would do it.
Yes,
Everyone
absolutely.
would. I don't care. It felt like the movie, like he was just giving her a movie to be in or something. It was not great.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
I want a movie.
Oh my God, put us in a movie.
Remember I told you last week? I was like, I want to act.
Yeah.
I want to do Broadway.
Broadway.
Right?
Broadway. I don't believe you mentioned Broadway. That was
No, I said I would love a Tony Award.
Obituary the musical.
I would love that.
You know what?
You never know.
If there is a playwright out there, if there is a team that can make Obituary the musical happen,
we will absolutely
we'll do it.
We'll start.
We'll tour it. We
I'll
will
play a
take
dead
it on
body.
the road.
I'll play a dead body.
In our own show. I feel like if we do Obituary the musical, we get to be
the stars, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't do it unless I'm a star.
Oh, you heard it here. You heard it here.
Talk to my agent. Wait, also I want to say a quick thank you because everyone's still buying our book, which is so nice. We
had a great call
today.
We had
a great call today. They're like, everyone's still buying your book.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And we're planning some fun stuff for
fall. We're gonna have a fun fall. It's Obituary fall.
Yeah. Obituary fall. We haven't gotten to tour this year, and so we're gonna make the most out of the fall.
Yeah, fall's gonna be fall. We ball.
Fall. We ball.
Yep. I was laughing.
That's all.
Before the episode, before we started recording, Madison's like, "You have this uncanny ability to ignore me."
He does, literally. It's almost like I mean, I don't have kids, but like nieces and nephews, like if you babysit them or something and they're like going off, talking, doing, and you just kind of ignore them. That's kind of like
You're the toddler.
Yeah, I was like, hey, why don't you look up this or look up that? And just fully zoned in, totally ignoring. But it's like...
It's uncanny, you said.
It is. It's crazy.
Well, sometimes you need to be ignored.
I know. I know. I'm not offended by it. I'm impressed.
Oh, shit. Well, that makes me sound like a real asshole, Madison.
Well, there you have it.
Speaking of, this person wants to know, would I be the asshole if I didn't tell my step family what we were planning on doing with my dad's ashes?
Okay.
Okay, we'll hear you out.
Yeah.
So this will require some backstory first. My dad died around 5 years ago this June. At first, everyone was there for each other, but when me and my siblings started wanting to get involved with helping with the funeral and wake plans, processing and understanding the will, and sorting out his belongings, and what my stepmom wanted to do with them. A couple weeks after the funeral, we were turned on. We were accused of never spending any time with him. We were accused of being money grabbing, showing our true colors, etc., etc., and this mainly came from the stepmom and not the stepkids, but their excuse was she's grieving and they kind of backed her up. All we wanted to do was help with our dad's funeral and everything else that comes with it, but instead it was flipped on its head, and no matter what we said, it was turned against us. Really, I just wanted my dad back. I didn't want or need anything that was happening. Eventually, we sat down with my stepmom only, as none of the kids wanted to be involved, and she lost it at us, and I didn't keep my cool either. We left that meeting with her confessing she never liked us and never wanted to see us again.
Oh, shit.
Diabolical.
Imagine.
Being
Must
the
feel
stepmom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never liked you, darling.
Darling.
I never
you guys
liked
were
you.
hell on wheels.
And I never want to see you again, okay?
What did we say? Sometimes it's the best time.
Honestly.
Time.
Anyway, for this person, unfortunately, it sent them into a depression.
Aw.
More than I already was after losing my dad, but now I lost a big chunk of family. None of them contacted me after this point, and if I did bump into them, they would just say, I'm so sorry how this all turned out, and act all sheepish. Now, my stepmom kept the ashes the whole way through this, and after some convincing, allowed us a small portion of him for our own. A couple months ago, I got a text from my stepsister saying my stepmom wanted to give me the ashes as she thinks we should decide what to do with them. I thought, That's amazing. We can get them back. But looking deeper into the text, she never said, and let us know what you do with them as we would like to be there. This sort of stung. I know a year or two after he died, she already moved on, and to make matters worse, she took that man on a holiday that my dad had planned with my dad's friends.
Damn.
Once we got the ashes from my stepsister, I opened them to realize they're still in the same box we got from the crematorium, which was falling apart, and upon looking at his ashes, they were rock solid.
What?
My heart sunk. She hadn't cared for them. I contacted my stepsister to explain this and didn't get much back other than a half-hearted sorry and some suggestions I had already considered as they were not scatterable. Me and my siblings and a few other close people to my dad have decided to do an ash burial in a green cemetery near where we live. Everyone has said, don't tell them what we're doing. They didn't care for you or your siblings. If they reach out, don't tell them. But for me and my conscience, I'm not sure I can do it. I'm so conflicted as they were horrible to me and my family. And on the other hand, it doesn't feel right to hold it back from them. So would I be the asshole if I didn't tell them what we were planning on doing with his ashes?
Do not tell them. And no, you're not the asshole, but I think that you maybe like to be hurt sometimes.
Oh shit. I don't know. I'm not going to say that, but I see what you're saying with that.
Like
I kind of agree.
You keep going back for more.
Yeah.
They don't like you.
They don't like you.
And I don't like you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Don't
like,
do that.
You're doing this to yourself at this point.
You're doing this to yourself. But we really need to actually talk about rock solid ashes because that's something we've
probably
never come across.
Spilled water on it or something, or left it outside. It probably could have gotten like moisture in there and just kind of compacted together.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Damn.
But yeah, I would not tell them. At the end of the day, the stepmom said, I never liked you and I never want to see you again. Boop, you'll never see me again.
And she's on holiday with a new man and your dad's friends. Fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Don't ever talk to her again. You don't owe her anything.
Yeah. Yep. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Well, this next one says, am I the asshole for telling my wife not to come to my ex-wife's funeral to support my daughter because my daughter doesn't want her there?
Okay.
My ex-wife died a couple of days ago. We shared a daughter, 14, together. Our divorce was not on the best of terms. We were both at fault. Nobody cheated, but we weren't the best spouses to each other. For a long time, we both tried to put our daughter first. But after I remarried, things did change. My ex alienated my daughter against my wife. I did what I could to stop it, and I made sure to try to counteract what my ex was doing. I did fight my ex in court over it, but my ex did successfully alienate our daughter against my wife. This was 4 years ago. My wife was pregnant at the time, so it was stressful when we realized what was happening, and my wife and daughter do not have a close or healthy relationship. My daughter shuts my wife out because of what her mom has said. She has at times been rude to my wife, and I have stepped in to tell her she cannot be like that. I told her I can't make her like, love, or be close to my wife, but she must be respectful. The rudeness was never a big problem, but the rejection of a relationship has remained consistent. Now, my ex-wife is dead, and my daughter's grieving. My daughter has stated clearly she does not want my wife or my son, who's 3.5, there. My wife wants to go to the funeral. She said my daughter will always remember her not being there for her and keeping her brother away from supporting her if we listen. She said at the very least, she must be there. Maybe our son's too young to go. But as her stepmom, if she doesn't show up and show her she loves her, things will never get better. My daughter screamed at the top of her lungs yesterday because she heard my wife say she wants to come and support my daughter. My daughter stated it very aggressively in a state of raw grief that my wife will not be a comfort because she hated her mom and nobody wants her there. I told my wife not to come. I said, I'll be there, and I know my daughter has mixed feelings about being there, but she ultimately wants me there. My wife expressed she was worried it was a big risk and that my daughter would remember it as her not being supportive later, and I said potentially it could, but it could also show my daughter that she's willing to respect her boundaries, that she's not trying to take her mom's place. I told my wife it'll be more difficult now because my daughter's mom is dead, and it can be really hard to see the flaws in people's actions when we lose them too soon, which is so fucking true. And I feel deep down that if she shows up, my daughter will turn against her more. My daughter sought the advice of a family therapist we've visited over the years, and the therapist agreed with me, but my wife was upset. She told me she wanted my support and that she felt like I was encouraging her not to be a good stepmom. So am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole. Your daughter is young and being kind of an asshole, but she also just lost her mom, and we don't know the like dynamics, right? I think the big thing that stuck out to me was like, you will show her that you respect her boundaries. And I think that you can be, the stepmom can be a big support in other ways. She doesn't have to be at the funeral to be that big support.
Well, I also thought too, I'm like,
it's also not about her.
It's not about the stepmom. And like she said, she doesn't want you there. I feel like the best way, you can't repair the relationship with the mom that died. The daughter's already going to probably hate this stepmother for the rest of her life because she knew there was like tension between her and her mom. But if there was like a possible reconciliation or the daughter eventually having a decent relationship with the stepmom, I feel like the stepmom should be like, listen, I want to go and support you, but if you don't feel comfortable with me there, totally cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally cool with that.
That'll do more than her showing up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because then eventually the daughter's going to be like, oh, I kind of feel bad. I didn't let her come or whatever. Like, you know, or maybe not. But
or maybe she'll be like, I really needed for her to not be there. And I'm really grateful that she respected that.
No, I think it's fair.
Yeah. God, that's the parent alienation thing. I always think of Real Housewives of Orange County with Tamra. Like her daughter didn't talk to her and she like gave these talks at parental alienation like seminars, and it's gnarly.
Well, sometimes parents deserve to be alienated.
And I don't,
And every situation's so different, but like I see both. Like I think that there's definitely times where toxic family members need to be cut out. I would 100%, if one of my parents was toxic to me, I'd be like, cool, fuck off. Like I'm not doing this because, you know, therapy, you learn how to set boundaries. You learn how to do all of that. But
you learn that your parents are just people.
I'm also sure there's instances where maybe the parent isn't a narcissist and the kid is a narcissist, and they like are like, oh my God, can you believe my parents are like this?
Yeah.
I've had friends before who are like, my parents and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, your parents are fucking pretty great.
Yeah, they're angels.
But then I also have friends whose parents suck.
I know.
Everyone is a person, though. Like, everyone is going through...
Everyone is a person.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first.
My self-help book. That's the title of it.
Wait, can
Everyone
we
is a
talk
person.
about...
let them?
Let them... Okay.
Formal apology.
Have footage. Yeah.
Formal apology to Mel Robbins.
I told you. I said, my therapist recommended it. You said, oh my God, it's a cult. And look who's reading it.
Not reading, listening on Audible.
Loving.
Well, you know what happened is she was on, I got like a thing that popped up on YouTube because she was everywhere. But there was like a week where it was everywhere. And I couldn't escape it. And I'm just an anti-person. It's like, I don't know. Actually, no, because I love a trend and I love...
Yeah.
But like, I just, with some of that stuff, it does feel culty to me. I'm like...
Your radar is real calibrated. You know, because of what you do.
But we also love a self-improvement book. And we have, like, Madison and I and our friend Chris have a little book club. We pick from different options. There's like, we'll do like a philosophy book or this kind of book or this kind of book.
Or a business book.
Yeah. Or like a managing finances book. Like, we like to kind of switch it up. And of course, I've read all the millennial, like, you're a badass, the art of not giving a fuck. Like, I've done it all.
Yeah.
We've done it all. We've read them all. Honestly, I feel like they're just good sometimes to like listen to or read because it just gets
get you back on track.
Yeah, just gets you back on track.
To being a boss babe.
Yeah. We're starting a pyramid scheme. So Obituary musical, it is coming to a place near you, but we are going to need some investors for this.
We are.
Do you believe in us? No, but I ended up, this Mel Robbins interview started playing, and I was like, okay, I'm going to like watch this. And then I was like, you know what? I like her philosophy. I like her voice. And that's a big thing for me. That's what won me over, is honestly her voice. And so I was like, I'm going to play the audiobook because I don't know. Sometimes I like music when I drive. Sometimes I just want to listen to an audiobook.
Yeah.
I downloaded it and I love it. I love anything that goes against like a victim mentality, which you and I will say, are both pretty self-aware in that category. I don't think either of us have
a victim
mentality.
Yeah.
It's probably...
And if one of us gets into that,
we'll pull the other out real quick.
Yeah.
And be like, girl, get fucking real.
Well, because we know how lucky we are and grateful and...
Yeah. We err more on the side of delusional than we do victim.
Yes. Delulu is the Salulu.
But really, I feel like it's so common to have a victim mentality.
Yeah.
And I feel like
It's so easy to.
yeah, it's an easy trap to fall into.
Granted, we're not talking politically and socioeconomic things.
No,
and like,
get real. Don't
yeah.
fucking do that. We're talking about just like people who are like, life's happening to me all the time. And it's
yeah.
like, well,
you know
yeah,
those people.
yeah,
You know those
who we're
people
talking about.
that you're like, girl, you have it so good. Your mindset is just fucked.
Yeah, truly. It's good. I mean, I think because it promotes taking self-accountability, which I do like. And I like anything that is about like holding yourself accountable, especially when it comes to like decisions you're making or boundary setting or anything like that.
I read it last night or I was reading a couple chapters of it last night in bed because we don't have TVs in the bedroom yet. Like we haven't hung the bedroom TV yet.
You're different now. You don't have TVs in the bedroom.
So yeah, we don't do that in our new house. You know, when you read something and you're like, oh man, that hits. There was something in it about like control. And I'm pretty like, I'm like laid back, but I'm also a control freak when it comes to things. And like,
well, actually, I don't think your husband would say you're laid back.
Well, no, I know. I feel like
I save it for home.
Yeah. I feel like everything will fall apart if I'm not like, okay, this needs to happen and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, everything's fine. And so it like there was like a light bulb moment where I was like, oh, okay, let everybody just do what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And think what they're gonna think. That's the nicest thing is like, oh, that person, like I make up scenarios in my head like, oh, I said the wrong thing, or oh, that person probably thinks this or that. And then it's like, let them.
Let them.
Who cares, really?
Truly. Well, for us, like I feel like we're actually really lucky because I feel like out of everyone I know that's in our world, we get the least hate.
Oh, I know.
We get the least hate.
God, I know.
Which we're so obnoxious sometimes. That surprises not more, but we still get it sometimes. And it used to like sometimes I feel like really bother us, but then yeah. Well, actually, I don't know.
But then we discovered
Mel Robbins let them. No, let them.
Well, you know what?
What?
I needed it like I needed a drill to the cranium.
Okay. Are we back with trepanation?
Well, that is the subject line of the listener email that I have.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Hello, Madison Spencer, the 4 wonderful puppies, Madison's husband, whose name I can't recall, Madison, and the champ. This is my first time writing into a podcast, so I might be doing it wrong. Nope, you did it great.
Hey, you opened up your email and you sent it to the right place.
I love that. You did great. Thank you for taking the time to read my email, and please feel free to share on the pod if you like. I have a lot to share. What a terrible way to start an email. But I will try to be brief anyway. You guys did a cameo for my birthday last year. 2, actually, which I'm thinking, remember we sent a cameo and we thought it was like,
they were lovers.
They were lovers, sisters. But it was sisters. Yeah. So we had to send another one. I'm thinking it might be that one.
Remember, we were like, you guys are beautiful couples.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, we're sisters. Hey sisters.
No closer bond.
God. And I watch them whenever I feel bummed out. Your audiobook also kept me company on the long drive to my beloved grandmother's funeral this past summer. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
She was my last grandparent. It took me 38 years to the very day to lose all 4 of my grandparents. And laughing and learning made the journey less depressy, so thank you for that. I wanted to share an article from a province near mine. The charming Newfoundland. It features one of my favorite procedures, trepanning, as well as a magical Canadian town, Dildo. You know that's a real town.
How's it spelled?
Dildo.
Like dildo?
I know this because I was searching for obituaries.
What were you searching for, girl?
Dildo! I was searching for obituaries with the dildo. And they did say dildo, but it's Dildo, Newfoundland. I would say this is definitely worth a read, maybe even an episode, which we have done an episode on trepanation.
Yes.
But we didn't cover this particular story.
Let's hear it.
Well, they go on to say, I work in some capacity in microbiology, keeping it vague on purpose, and I see a lot of stuff that you guys have talked about. Patients with delusional parasitosis, Morgellons disease, eradicated illnesses making terrifying comebacks, actual parasites. I've seen 2 instances of Loa Loa since I've started working there 3.5 years ago. Texts from other labs inhaling a dangerous phase 3 fungi to see if it had an odor.
Hey, I'm a fun guy. No odors here.
You name it. I've probably encountered it.
Hell yeah.
So if you want more stories, I've got them for you. Your loyal Geoff girly Max.
Thanks, Girly Max.
Girly. Okay, so on to the article. This is from 2022. How a quick-thinking doctor with a drill saved a man's life. This is from cbc.ca. Dr. Paul Patey knows a young man could lose his life unless he does something. The ambulance he's in races towards St. John's, carrying a teenager who desperately needs to have blood drained from his recently injured brain. Armed with a scalpel and a drill he borrowed from a maintenance man at the William H. Newhook Community Health Center in Whitbourne, Patey tells the paramedic driving to find a safe spot to stop so he can try to bore a hole in the young man's skull.
Jeez.
I took the drill and put it against the bone, Patey recalled. I took it out, and cruddy old blood started coming out like cranberry sauce. Oh my God. Enjoying a warm day in a park in Marystown, Taylor Jackson, now 27, pushes his 2 boys, Roman, 4, and Carter, 8, on a swing set with his wife. He sat down to share his story as a cautionary tale to the kids he's seen around town riding their bikes without helmets. It's really not something I would wish on anybody else, he said. On July 16th, 2010, a date Jackson has tattooed on the back of his neck, the then 15-year-old hopped onto his bike without his helmet. Which he says he usually wore, but on that day, pedaling as quickly as he could to the softball field in South Dildo. It was a big thing, summer softball, said Jackson. The game ended around midday, and he hopped on his bike to head home. He pushed off down a hill, and then everything came crashing to a halt. Bombing down a dirt road hill, he isn't sure what happened, but his helmetless head went over the handlebars and smashed into a rock. Everything just happened so quick. I fractured my skull and didn't really know it. Somehow Jackson pulled himself from the ground and, despite tremendous pain, managed to pedal to his aunt's house before his grandmother rushed him to the medical clinic. As soon as I got to my nan's house, everything went black for me. I can't remember much. I was in and out of consciousness. I woke up 2 weeks later to find out I had brain surgery and a plate inside of my head. On July 16th, 2010, Dr. Paul Patey was just a few hours into his 24-hour shift at the William H. Newhook Community Health Center. Patey, who had officially retired a few years earlier, kept busy doing the work he loved, filling in as a family doctor in hospitals. It's something he has done all over Newfoundland. When Jackson's grandmother dropped him off at the hospital that July day, he knew right away the severity of the situation. At that point, Jackson was still conscious, but he couldn't speak. When asked to by the doctor, he wasn't able to wiggle his toes or his fingers on one side of his body. Patey said the young man needed a CAT scan and a team of doctors not available at the health center in Whitbourne. With an ambulance en route from nearby Smith's Ambulance Services, Patey made sure he had everything needed for the hour-long ride to the Janeway Children's Hospital in St. John's. He grabbed a scalpel from the medical center and then asked a staff member to grab a drill and some bits. If things went south with Jackson, he knew the 12-volt power drill could be the only thing aboard the ambulance to save his life.
Wow.
Patey explained that the brain needs to be in a protected space, the skull. But when there is damage to the skull and it fills with blood, there isn't much room left over. It squats the brain, said Patey. If you squat the brain enough, you kill it.
Wow.
The first thing he did was make sure the drill worked. There's no point in getting down the road and finding a dead battery, he said.
That's true.
With a paramedic in the back joining a nurse from the Whitbourne Medical Center, they put Jackson in the ambulance and floor it to St. John's. The experienced doctor knows Jackson needs a hole bored into his brain to drain some of the blood, but the teenager is still conscious. Patey tells the paramedic behind the wheel to get ready to stop. sanitizes the drill bit to clean off all the drywall from the last hole it bored, and the crew of 3 in the back start to practice drilling. With the nurse holding Jackson's head, Patty uses a padded head protector to ensure he doesn't drill too far into the skull. In a twist of fate, Patty said it was just a few weeks earlier he had been showing his grandson how to drill holes through plywood cleanly to avoid making a mess in his workshop. With Jackson's pulse dropping to 35 beats per minute, Patty starts with an incision into Jackson's scalp to get clear access to the skull, with the paramedic pulling the scalp back and the nurse holding his head in place.
Oh my God.
A quick squeeze of the power drill's trigger, and it's done. We knew we had reduced the pressure. Now we had a different problem. We had the bleeding in his head, but now that could get out through the hole, so the pressure wouldn't get any worse. But we had bleeding in his scalp because we had to make an awful big cut. The clock was ticking to get Jackson to St. John's before he bled to death, which they did, greeted by a team from the Janeway's emergency room.
Wow. That's incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
A drill with drywall still on it saved this kid's life.
Incredible. Thanks, Trepanation.
I know. Thank you.
Well, I'm up first this week, so I'm going to let you keep talking because you should have a little side bitch for us.
Oh, brother, do I. This one's for Josephine. Jo lived fast and died old. In her 86-year adventure, she worked nearly as many jobs, was courted by many but married just one, raised 4 children, was forever buying odd gifts for 10 grandchildren, was thrilled with 2 great-grandchildren, and was always, always, always ready with a quip. Josephine passed away peacefully at her Naperville home on February 16th, 2025, surrounded by her children and grandchildren. She was preceded in death by her dear husband of 61 years, Larry, who died in 2018 at the age of 88. Jo was born in Ireland on May 16th, 1938, to Polly and Joseph, whose pharmacy remains open on Main Street. Her early childhood was, well, Irish. Her mother died when she was 4. She lost her father at age 7, and 2 of her 9 siblings did not make it to adulthood. She was raised by her older sister Alice and later the Presentation Sisters at St. Mary's College in Mount Mellick. Josie, as she was known until she took the first opportunity to change it, maintained a rambunctious spirit despite the nuns' best efforts to crush it. She climbed trees and rode motorcycles. She escaped boarding school, hitching a ride home with the local postman.
Oh.
In 1955, she attended a costume party dance at the town hall in Wexford, dressed, in her words, like a Dutch boy. Young Larry saw her standing alone across the hall and gallantly as ever asked her to dance.
Aww.
Neither knew they would spend the next 6 decades together. The following summer, Jo would meet Larry again and a courtship was afoot.
Oh.
They only had 2 weeks together before Larry set forth for America to pursue good union wages. But he wrote her every week, and after 2 years, Jo agreed to marry him. They were wed in Dublin on January 15th, 1958. A honeymoon on the Queen Elizabeth II followed, after which they settled in Camden, New Jersey. Later that year, their first son, Larry, was born. Their second son, Kevin, came 2 years later after the family had moved to Philadelphia, where Jo had a job translating Gaelic at the Temple University Library until someone who actually knew Gaelic visited. In 1961, Jo and Larry moved their family to Chicago, and 2 years later to then outer suburb of Buffalo Grove, where they bought a Cape Cod with an unfinished second floor for $19,000.
Wow.
While Larry commuted 40 miles every evening to work an overnight shift at a printing company, Jo took care of their 2 boys and dog and some parakeets. Every weekend, they bought what building materials they could afford and eventually finished the house themselves. 2 more children, Brenda in 67 and Patrick in 69, followed, and Larry took a job selling real estate closer to home. He was immediately successful, and they bought a necessarily larger house in Arlington Heights and met the next-door neighbors who became dear friends, Ron and June. There she cared for 4 children, as well as worked many and various jobs: cashier, switchboard operator, selling Old Grandad whiskey, substitute caller for the school district, and the most popular teller in Citibank history. The extra money she earned helped take the kids to Ireland every year to visit the vast Hughes Doyle clan throughout Ireland. Jo enjoyed being the American lady wearing the latest fashions. Every time she returned home with an empty suitcase, having given all of those clothes to her nieces. Jo met famous people usually often, and they liked her. One of her loyal bank customers was Walton Payton, or as she decided to call him, Wally. She also met and enchanted Brendan Behan, Louis Armstrong, Roger Moore, and Mother Teresa. Yes, Mother Teresa. Once the children had moved away, Jo and Larry relocated to Rolling Meadows, which became a favorite fun spot for grandchildren to visit. In 2012, they moved to Bolingbrook to be closer to their youngest two, just down the block from Patrick, in fact. Larry died in that house in 2018 after a long illness, during which his wife refused to leave his side. She then lived for a short while at Villa St. Benedict, where she and her friend Joan got up to mischief. In 2021, continued illness led to Jo moving in with her daughter, where she enjoyed watching Wheel of Fortune and the Irish show Mrs. Brown's Boys, laughing most at the filthiest jokes. Jo retained a quick and acerbic wit throughout. When a hospice nurse loudly and slowly asked her, "Do you know your name?" Jo gave her the side eye but politely answered, "Josephine B. Doyle." "Oh, what does the B stand for?" With perfect timing, she answered, "Bitch." And then it goes into her survive by and funeral plans. But I just love her.
Love it. The B stands for bitch.
The B stands for bitch, baby.
And we're always putting the bitch
in
obituary.
Obituary.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
All righty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Oh my God. Okay, girlies, Geoffs, we have learned about posthumous executions, posthumous rises to fame, and hell, I remember when we learned that it's posthumous and not posthumous.
Oh,
remember we thought that in the beginning?
That was a big
an awakening for us.
An awakening, an aha moment.
Well, this week I did a little deep dive into posthumous exonerations.
Oh, shit.
This week's Coffin Spinner is actually brought to you by Cult Leader because I was reading about this case and then I was looking through an article about this person and I saw that the main suspect in the case was posthumously exonerated. And I was like, that is such a good Coffin Spinner.
I never thought about that. And is it going to piss us all off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine this, Geoffs. You go to prison for a crime you didn't commit.
That's the worst fear.
Die behind those cell walls, never having seen the light of day again. And then sometime after your death, the state says, oops, and suddenly you're not a criminal anymore.
Fuck.
It's all good, right? Like,
no.
I'd be haunting that prison. I don't know. So posthumous exoneration is exactly what it sounds like. It's when someone is legally cleared of a crime after they've passed away, usually after spending years rotting away in prison or being executed or otherwise punished for something that they didn't actually do. It's like a grim little Arbad from the justice system.
Fucked up.
It usually happens when new evidence surfaces, which if you think about like the advancements in DNA technology, but also like witness recantations, like people taking back and being like, yeah, actually, I'm not so sure.
Oh, those people deserve jail.
Or uncovered corruption of sorts. I don't know. Or when advocacy groups push for a re-examination into a case, which we've seen happening a lot, especially in the past like 10 years. Yep. But the real kicker is it doesn't undo the punishment. Like they're already dead. All it does is restore a sliver of somebody's dignity. And more often than not, it leaves the public just gagged at how badly the system fucked up.
It's like, not that it's worse, but it's like, like, how would you feel?
Well, as a family member, I can't imagine, but we'll talk about some laws that were enacted later on.
Okay.
I have to start out by talking about a very devastating case from South Carolina that took place back in the 1940s. And you might have heard of this one. This happened in 1944 when a 14-year-old named George Stinney Jr. was arrested for the murder of two young girls, Betty June Binnicker and Mary Emma Thames. They were like 7 and 11 years old, I believe, and they had been riding their bicycles around, and they were apparently looking for flowers that day. And the story goes that they had ridden their bikes past the Stinney home where 14-year-old George and his sister were out front of the house. And I guess the girls asked them if they knew where they could find any maypops.
Okay.
Which is like a type of, I don't know, flower or fruit or something.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it was allegedly the last time the two girls were seen alive. On March 23rd of 1944, the two girls were found beaten to death, and immediately George was placed under arrest for the crime. Why? Well, he was black and the two girls were white. That was enough for people to presume his guilt pretty much right off the bat.
Up.
The whole thing is fucked up. So he was taken 50 miles from his home without his parents. Like, his parents weren't allowed to come, let alone a lawyer. They didn't have a lawyer there for him either. And it's believed that once he got to the station, he was coerced into making a false confession. He was completely isolated. And when it did come time for the trial, he was put in front of an all-white jury who, after mere minutes, found George, of course, guilty of the murders. And also, I read that the courtroom was like packed. There was like 1,000 white people in there, but no black people were allowed inside of the courtroom, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So they found George guilty of the murders, and it didn't matter that there was like not really any evidence to support the theory. They didn't care. George had no defense, which is so fucking wild. Like, 14 years old, no defense. And as soon as they declared his guilt, the judge immediately sentenced him to death by electrocution.
Oh, God.
According to an article from the Washington Informer, quote, he was able to see his parents on one occasion after the trial. Electric chairs were not made for children. Standing at 5 feet 1 inch tall, which is important, and weighing 95 pounds, like, there's no way he murdered those girls.
Yeah.
George was too small for the adult-size electric chair. The mask and the straps were also too big to contain him. In less than 3 months, a 14-year-old child was charged with murder, tried, convicted, and executed by the state of South Carolina. I read that they had to put like a Bible underneath him so that he would be tall enough to fit the electric chair, which is just fucking devastating. It shows like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be electrocuting children.
Yeah.
It was very controversial, like, even at the time. Like, it was very controversial that they were doing this to somebody who was 14 years old.
Okay.
It was just like unheard of. His family ended up burying him in an unmarked grave because they feared that people were going to come and vandalize it, well, specifically like racist.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work that was done in between, and I don't mean to negate that, but it's also, he's just one of a few stories that I'm covering today, so I can't go into everything, but I know there was a lot of like incredible people who helped like research the case and re-examine the case in like the early 2000s, but in 2014 the case was officially re-examined, and they included testimony from George's siblings, who his sister's like, I was with him when these murders happened. Like, there's no way that he was there.
Yeah.
In addition, an affidavit was introduced from Reverend Francis Batson, who found the girls and pulled them from the water-filled ditch. And in his statement, he recalled that there wasn't a lot of blood in or around the ditch, suggesting that they may have been killed somewhere else and then moved there. And then this guy, Wilford Johnny Hunter, who served time in prison with George Stinney before he was executed, testified that George told him, like, they made me confess.
Oh.
Just heartbreaking. Later in 2014, a South Carolina judge vacated the conviction, citing a lack of due process. Turns out, shocking no one, the entire thing was just like this big, grotesque miscarriage of justice. I did read surviving members of the girls' families have remained certain that George was the murderer.
What?
But other suspects have been brought to attention. None of it's ever been confirmed. I don't think they've ever, like, they didn't want to reopen the case and do like a full-on new trial or anything. He just kind of like vacated it. So like it was as if it didn't happen, but
That's fucked up.
In January of 2022, South Carolina State Representative Caesar McKnight introduced a bill named after George Stinney, the George Stinney Fund, which would make the state of South Carolina pay $10 million to the families of the wrongfully executed if their conviction is posthumously overturned.
Wow.
There's a lot, and I mean a lot of stories from like the Jim Crow era where we see very similar situations, especially in the 40s, fueled by racism.
Yeah.
There was another case I was reading about, Lena Baker. She was a single Black mother of 3. She was born into poverty, and by the 1940s, she was working as a maid in Cuthbert, Georgia. I hope I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Where, I mean, Black people were not very welcomed there, from what I've read. Enter Ernest Knight. He was an older white man, and he hired Lena to clean his home and tend to his needs. And by needs, I mean he began holding her captive.
Oh, God.
Reports later described him locking her inside of the house for days at a time. He assaulted her, he threatened her life, and in August of 1944, during a violent struggle where Lena feared for her life, she was actually able to grab his gun and shoot him. And then immediately afterwards, she turned herself in. But the justice system was like not hearing her. They were like, we don't give a fuck why you did it. And in a one-day trial, once again, an all-white, all-male jury convicted her of capital murder, and her court-appointed lawyer didn't bother to appeal the decision, and within 2 months, her execution date was set.
Oh, God.
Her last words before she was strapped to Georgia's electric chair on March 5th of 1945 were, "What I'd done, I did it in self-defense, or I would have been killed myself. Where I was, I could not overcome it. God has forgiven me. I have nothing against anyone. I'm ready to meet my God."
Oh, wow.
She became the first and only woman ever to be executed in Georgia's electric chair.
Wow.
Now, flash forward to 2005, the Georgia Board of Pardons and Paroles issued a posthumous pardon acknowledging that she should have been charged with manslaughter at most. The state admitted that Lena Baker had been wrongfully executed, but it took them, fucking 60 years to do it. There is a historical marker that sits outside of the Randolph County Courthouse in her honor. They've told her story in like films, books, and television, but I mean, none of that changes
brings
the
her
fact
back.
that she was
Yeah.
executed for something that there's no way
Self-defense.
someone else, for
Yeah.
self-defense. Moving on, okay, they're all kind it's a little bit of a
It's
downer.
sad.
It is
Yeah,
sad,
it's
but it's
sad.
also a reality.
Totally.
And I was like, damn, okay, I learned a lot doing this.
It makes you feel like disgusted.
Truly.
Yeah.
So then we have Joe Arity, and he was this very sweet man, very vulnerable guy, and apparently he had the cognitive abilities of a 6-year-old. In 1936, he was coerced into confessing to the brutal murder of this young girl in Colorado, despite overwhelming evidence pointing to a different suspect who later confessed and was also executed, because why not kill both of them?
Yeah.
Joe spent his final days playing with toy trains and eating ice cream in the prison, and one of the wardens called him the happiest man on death row because he didn't understand what was happening. He didn't have the cognitive ability to like really grasp the situation, and apparently the guards all were crying, like bawling, when he had to be executed. In 2011, the governor posthumously pardoned Joe, calling his conviction a tragic and unjust execution of a man who should have never been convicted. And it was a mercy, sure, but again, it came decades too late. There's actually a website called friendsofjoearity.com where they tell his story in like fuller detail and provide a full chronological telling of his life, his arrest, death, and aftermath. But I have one more that I want to talk about, and that is about this man named Timothy Evans. This took place in London in 1949. Timothy at the time was a 25-year-old, and he was living in this little gross row house at 10 Rillington Place in Notting Hill with his wife Beryl and their baby daughter Geraldine.
Okay.
Their marriage was on the rocks, we'll say. Money was a really big issue, and when Beryl became pregnant again, the couple allegedly started talking about abortion. They were like, weighing out the different options that were there, but this was a crime in Britain at the time. Tim later claimed he was told that their neighbor downstairs, this man named John Christie, would be able to help him out.
Okay.
Well, a few weeks later, Beryl and the baby were dead.
Okay.
Tim, in a panic, fled to Wales, where he was picked up by police, and he gave them a few different stories. First, that Beryl had died during a botched abortion and he'd hidden the body. Then he said that John Christie, the neighbor, had done it, and the police leaned hard on him, like classic 1940s interrogation style. You know, they're shining the light on him. They're blowing smoke in his face, like, listen, fucker.
Yeah.
But eventually, Tim confessed to everything. Even though his confession didn't match the physical evidence, it didn't matter. The jury took 40 minutes to find him guilty, and he was hanged at Pentonville Prison in 1950.
Okay.
Here's where it gets crazy. In 1953, the neighbor, John Christie, was caught hiding bodies inside of the apartment walls.
Oh, no.
His wife, 3 other women, and yes, Beryl Evans.
Oh, shit.
Christie was a full-blown serial killer who had been using gas to subdue women and then assaulting and murdering them, including Beryl.
No.
John Christie actually confessed to Beryl's murder. Again, this is 3 years after they've already executed Timothy.
Yeah.
But conveniently, he denied killing baby Geraldine. It wasn't until 1966, 16 years after Timothy Evans was executed, that he was officially granted a royal pardon. The UK government admitted that the trial had been a sham and that Tim likely had nothing to do with the murders. And it became a very big turning point in Britain's movement to abolish the death penalty. It was like, if this could happen to a harmless, semi-illiterate guy who just wanted to take care of his family, how many more innocent people were they killing?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually covered John Christie on an episode of Cult Leader called like the Rillington Place Maniac or whatever.
I have a question, because you said that Tim was like, our neighbor might be able to help.
Yeah.
Was he a doctor, or what could he help with? Like the abortions?
With the abortions, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because it was like said that he was able to like perform those operations.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little did they know what was really happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it really is eye-opening, because obviously we've heard about miscarriages of justice and
Yeah, and just people being locked up for
crimes they didn't commit, or
the sentence doesn't match the crime.
Yeah.
And it's fucked.
It's just crazy that, like, in today's world, like, a Casey Anthony who murdered her daughter is just out in the world.
Uh-huh.
Is just out in the world.
I know. And then you think about, the miscarriages of justice, and I think about Karen Reed. I'm like, I truly don't think she did it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that whole situation is pretty sus.
So it's still happening today.
Yeah.
Scary. Very scary.
Oh, for sure. And especially with racism.
Well, yeah.
Sentences not fitting the crime runs pretty rampant.
Yep.
But yeah, there's obviously a very racist history, but there's also just like, I mean, when you think about the juries, it's so fucked, because back in the day, the juries were all white men. And so if you were not a white man, that also includes women. Like, women would go up for a trial for something and the men would be like, nah, guilty.
Yeah.
And no problem. No questions asked.
Absolutely.
It's just so... It's so wild. I'm actually in the middle of watching a movie right now, because I started it on my flight to San Francisco, and I got like I have 30 minutes left by the time I flew back. It's called Juror Number 2. It's like a Clint Eastwood film. It's so good.
Is it so good?
Oh my God, it's so good so far, at least. And I have 30 minutes left, so I'm gonna watch it tomorrow on the plane when we go to Texas.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. So that is posthumous exoneration in a nutshell. I think we get the idea. I would like to find more stories. I think there's going to be a part 2 eventually, because there are definitely more cases. But like, I did want to talk about, obviously.
They're heavy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a little bit at a time is good. But I think that it's really necessary to hear these stories of these people, because it's fucked.
Yeah.
And you never think something's going to happen to you until it does, and who knows?
Yeah, truly.
It's scary.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
we're going to take a breather, and when we come back, we'll hear what had Madison spinning in her coffin this week.
All righty.
We'll be right back. And we're back. Girlie, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, girlie, you were such a bummer a couple minutes ago. So, I thought that I would take us to the mall.
Oh my God, I love them all. You know I love them
I
all.
know you love them
The
all.
other day, I'm not kidding you, I woke up and in my bones, I was like, I need to go to a mall.
Oh,
I love the mall.
You're going to love this.
Okay.
Or you're going to be so sad.
Oh my God, okay.
Okay, but leave it to us to somehow figure out an obituary angle that ties death and funerals into places
Like a shopping mall.
where I used to work.
Ooh, decayed.
Decayed. But the internet has made it pretty easy.
Okay.
Luckily. There is a term called dead mall.
I don't like this already.
I know. So a dead mall is a shopping center that has lost most of its stores and most of its customers.
Oh.
The lights are on, nobody's home, or worse.
People say that about us.
Well, yeah, true. They also say this. What's worse is that the lights are on, but the escalators are frozen.
Oh.
And there's a random Claire's or like a shoe palace open and nothing else.
There was a mall a few cities over from us
Mhm.
growing up called the Sun Valley Mall.
Mm-hmm.
It had like all the quintessential
Mall.
90s to early 2000s
Yeah.
mall stores. My sister and I went a couple years ago. I feel like during COVID or
Mhm.
around that time, we were like, hey, whatever happened to that mall? And so we wanted to go check it out.
Dead mall.
Not one normal store there.
Not
Like
one
a
normal.
store called Q, a store,
Yeah.
like, you know, like those
Yeah.
kinds of
Yep.
stores, like stores that are not real.
It's a dead mall.
Dead mall.
Dead mall. I can think of quite a few malls too, like around the LA area and like the area that I grew up in that were super popular in high school, like poppin'. Like my mom dropped me off.
Yes. See you in 10 hours.
See you in 10 hours. We're going to the movies.
Yes.
We're getting an ear.
We're going to Johnny Rockets after.
We're going to Johnny Rockets. We're seeing our friends.
Yes.
We're doing a little shopping. It was
We're smoking weed behind the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. The Grove now has gotten rid of so many stores.
Yeah.
And it's literally, it's so small, first of all.
Yeah, but they still have, and this is what happens with what makes a mall a dead mall typically is that
no traffic.
they get rid of their anchor stores. So
Yeah.
the Grove still has Nordstrom.
Yeah.
It has a Nike. It has an H&M or a Zara. Like, you know,
Yeah.
those bigger anchor stores. I can think of in the LA area or LA County area where I grew up, there was the Galleria.
Oh my God, South Bay Galleria.
South Bay Galleria.
Yes.
And
When I first moved here, that was still
because they still had Nordstrom. And then they moved the Nordstrom. Now it's,
if a mall doesn't have a Nordstrom's, I feel like that's a sign. Like if it only has a
Yeah.
Macy's,
yeah,
it's not the same.
it's not popping.
South Bay Galleria, we went and did an escape room there one time.
I
Oh,
wrote
sorry.
that in my No, I wrote that in my notes because we walked in. That's when we were big into getting a massage at a massage chair
Yes.
at the mall.
We went to the massage chairs.
Yes. And if you don't have one of those, then I don't know what you're doing, but
There's a
whole-
fake mall in Anaheim too.
Yeah.
There's that one Garden Walk.
Yeah.
There's not real stores there. It's like all off a little bit. It's like you think it's a Disney store. Like I feel like, but it's not it's no Disney
Totally.
products.
Totally. And you know what? The tall tale sign, an escape room.
Telltale sign.
What is it? Telltale?
Telltale sign.
What is it?
Telltale sign, and you said tall tale.
I'm telling tall tales at the mall.
You know what the tall tale signs are?
It's big and tall.
Big and tall.
If they have a big and tall store,
Mm.
maybe it's a good mall.
Mm,
I don't know. But we did an escape room
yes.
at the South Bay Galleria.
We
And then
did.
also at that garden walk, they had that escape room.
I don't think that was at Garden Walk.
It was right across from Disneyland.
Different.
Different?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Because I know they got a PF Chang's at the Garden Walk, which is
yes. And they have the escape room.
maybe it's not there anymore.
Sucks.
Remember
Wow.
they printed out a picture of me?
Yes.
I
Like
wrote
from your
"You're
Instagram.
next" on
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I have it somewhere. I saved it.
Oh, it made the move.
Yeah, it did. I also feel like the circus ends up in a lot of those mall parking lots. Like that's when the circus comes to town.
If the circus is coming to your mall's parking lot, that mall is dead.
Yes, yes. Anyways, so statistically, let's get into statistics, baby.
Oh, okay, hold on.
A mall is considered a dead mall if more than 40% of its stores are vacant.
More than 40%.
More than
Okay.
40,
I mean,
so-
that feels like a lot of malls.
So less than half.
Yeah.
Less than half of the stores. There's even a Wikipedia page dedicated to dead malls. The Wikipedia page also says that a dead mall is called a ghost mall or a zombie mall.
Oh, because it's just got walkers. You know, like those
Uh-huh.
old people that get up and they go walking around.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about those a little
Okay.
later. There's a website also called deadmalls.com. And I encourage you guys to go look at it because they give an alphabetical list of every dead mall in America by state. And it's really sad to me.
We love to consume. You guys know
No.
this about us.
It's sad because malls are continuing to die. And
I don't want to hear that.
I mean, okay, we know overconsumption is not good, obviously, but the mall did have some mom and pop shops too. And now big box retailers like a Walmart or a Target are taking over, and the mall just feels so nostalgic. And
I love a mall.
I love them all
I
too.
truly like the smell of an inside mall.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
But now those dead malls are like big concrete graveyards, truly.
They never do anything with them.
I know.
Like literally, there's one over here.
Uh-huh.
There's a full mall there. It just doesn't
Hey,
exist
bunny,
anymore.
our bunny. Yeah, I know. It's so sad. So sad. Atlas Obscura has an article all about, it's called The Life and Death of the American Mall. And the first little part of it I want to read because it describes it and it describes the nostalgia and like how creepy it is now too. I also think of The Last of Us. Remember when she goes
yep.
into the mall?
Uh-huh.
That article, it says, quote, I visited hundreds of abandoned places in my life. Factories to asylums, schools to churches, but suburban malls might be the most surreal and striking. They captivate the imagination in a way few other types of environments can, with an almost imperceptible layer of fog that forms between the first and second floors of an atrium, endless reflections of vacant storefronts, or a chance encounter with a groundhog in the remains of a food court. Stripped of signage and wares, they are nearly perfectly liminal spaces, which we need to talk about liminal spaces because they're creepy.
I used to follow an account, and when you were first talking about this on Twitter called Liminal Spaces.
I follow an Instagram account that's liminal spaces.
And they post, I like remember reposting one time like an empty shopping mall, but it gives you like a good feeling too. It's like weird.
It's weird. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's like calming, but
creepy.
Dismal.
Yeah, absolutely. Malls have become a part of the modern collective unconscious. Though both the haze of half-buried memories of any American over the age of 20 and their ubiquity in popular media, they reflect the American consumer's identity, and to see a suburban mall in ruins warps nostalgia into something nightmarish and forlorn in a way that abandoned factories, hospitals, or even churches don't quite do. And I fully agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Like it is creepier than you
because you're used to seeing so many people there.
And they're your youth. Like, you know, that's what you would do. You would go to the mall.
I'll be so sad to live in a world with no malls.
I know. And like
outdoor malls, I think will always be a thing. I think the indoor mall has had more of a death.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like a Westfield, you know?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And now like the indoor malls, the bigger ones that are still poppin' are few and far between, but I feel like they also carry so many higher end things.
Yeah.
Than like,
well, there's like over here the
South Coast Plaza.
South Coast Plaza is that's still very active.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's popping in there.
Yeah.
But that's also it's like the only place in Orange County where you can shop at those stores.
Right.
So
right. Yeah.
Huh.
I know. But one thing that we are going to do when a store or even a restaurant has died is have a funeral for it. Okay? That's the proper thing to do.
Of course.
And I have quite a few real life examples of people coming together to honor stores and restaurants and malls in a way that you'd think it was like a living, breathing
I love it.
thing. Okay?
Yes.
So our first one is the Brown Derby. And the Brown Derby if you're not familiar, was a super iconic restaurant chain in Los Angeles. The first one was built in 1926 and was actually built in the shape of a huge derby hat, like a bowler hat. This was the one on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. There was also one in Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Baldwin Hills, and Los Feliz throughout the years. The original restaurant, though, was built incredibly close to all the Hollywood studios, and so it became this iconic star-studded place. Our girls Hedda Hopper and Luella Parsons would go and have lunch there and get the latest
their dedicated
gossip.
booth.
Yes. Charlie Chaplin was always seen eating there. Clark Gable proposed to Carol Lombard there. And then I always think of the I Love Lucy episode when they went to Beverly Hills.
Was that at the Brown Derby?
With William Holden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they have like the celebrities' pictures up on the walls.
Uh-huh.
So incredibly iconic. Also, the Shirley Temple, the drink, was invented there. Oh, and the Cobb salad.
That's a claim to fame. Oh my, and the Cobb salad.
Yeah.
LA, baby.
I know.
I like it.
I know. That makes me feel like, oh, I love it. Okay, so in the 80s, though, the Brown Derby closed down, but the building, at least the original building, stayed put because it was this iconic hat. It was this huge brown hat. And there was other businesses in it. There was like another restaurant in there, but it just, was never the same. It was never the Brown Derby. But then the Northridge earthquake in 1994 caused a lot of damage to it. But from everything I read, it seems like they could have done a better job preserving it. So the city of LA was set to bulldoze the iconic Brown Derby in 1994 because they said it was unsafe now because of the earthquake. So fans and preservationists all gathered outside of it on the day it was set to be demolished and had a literal funeral for it. Everybody wore black. They wore bowler hats. There were girls dressed as cigarette girls. They had a casket.
Oh, I love that.
And they even had signs. There was one guy who held up a tombstone-shaped sign that said, "Cause of death." And it said, "Heart sickness compounded by years of neglect."
Oh.
I know. It was dramatic. It was a performance.
R.I.P. Brown Derby.
I know. Newspapers picked it up, including the LA Times, and they called it a Valentine's Day heartbreak and referred to the whole thing as an actual funeral. Like in the article, they say, quote, "Monday's funeral brought out the idle, the curious, and those with fond memories."
Oh.
Full funeral. I love it.
I love that.
Okay, now let's go on over to the Kroger grocery store.
Let's go on over to the Kroger.
Okay, this one made me laugh. This just happened in 2019 in Dearborn, Michigan.
Okay.
A Kroger grocery store closed down. But I was reading, and I guess that the Kroger store was closing down because there was going to be an even bigger and better one built across the street.
But people were mourning.
People were so upset.
I get attached like that.
I know. The Detroit Free Press reported saying, quote, "A heartbroken crowd will gather in Dearborn this Saturday for a candlelight vigil to mourn a loss that has struck a chord in the community. And they won't just be holding candles. They'll be waving Kroger cards." The Facebook invite said something like, "We are going to play sad songs as they close the doors to the grocery store." Is that Star Wars?
Maybe.
Okay, but 100 people showed up.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, in the parking lot, including a United States representative, like a congresswoman for the Democratic Party, for a celebration of life for this store.
That's iconic.
Incredible. Iconic. Similarly, Blockbuster has had this happen in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas, when one of the last Blockbuster stores closed in 2018, customers didn't just show up to buy like clearance stuff. They came to say goodbye. And it felt like I guess one person said that it felt like a class reunion mixed with a wake.
It was such a time, like I remember on Fridays, like walking
I
to
know.
Blockbuster with the Blockbuster card and getting to go to the new release wall
Yes.
and like pick
It
something.
was so exciting.
So important too. I remember,
Yeah.
I don't know why, my parents just let me go to the horror section always and pick something
Mhm,
out, and
mhm.
I'd get some weird fucking horror movie that was there.
Totally. But defined your adulthood.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm a film connoisseur, as I was
Well,
talking about.
and now you're an author. And the Borders bookstore. Remember Borders?
Borders, yeah. It was like the off-brand Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, but they still carried good stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
And in 2011, there was the final days of the Borders bookstore in Brandon, Florida, and it turned into a whole community vigil as well. Regulars came in and wrote farewell messages on poster boards. They thanked all the employees. They cried in the cafe.
Yeah.
And it was described as like the last chapter of a book.
I remember when they got rid of we had a big 3-story Barnes & Noble in our downtown.
And now it's back.
And they got rid of it.
Yeah.
And it became an Anthropology.
Mhm.
And I remember being so bummed out by that. And then years later, we got a Barnes & Noble again in my hometown.
Mhm.
We went there. We signed some books there.
I know. Full circle.
That was like the book release week. It came out. I remember we went down there with my family.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool. So cool. Okay, I have two more.
Okay.
We have Johnny White's Sports Bar, and this is a sports bar in New Orleans. It closed in 2012, and they had a full funeral for it. The jazz funeral,
Like
brass
a homegoing band. Yeah.
Yes. They had a second line parade down Bourbon Street. They carried a coffin. They danced. They celebrated the life of this dive
I feel like New
bar.
Orleans will celebrate anything and everything, and I love it.
I know. But this bar is iconic, and there's a book called Johnny White's Sports Bar, the tiny joint that never closed until it did. And it's by Crandall and Marita Woywad. But I do believe that it eventually changed owners after its closure in 2012 and opened up again and then closed again in 2020, the coronavirus. But yeah, they had a full funeral. And then for my Canadian Geoffs, we have Honest Ed's. I didn't know what Honest Ed's was, but it was sort of like a huge discount store, kind of like a Walmart before Walmart became what it is.
Got it.
In Toronto, Canada. And in 2018, it closed down. This place is huge. There's like different stories, and it was just an iconic store and a staple in many Canadians' lives. So Toronto held a 4-day farewell festival for this store, and they called it an honest farewell. So it was Honest Ed's.
Yes, with 4 days of celebrating, they could have put that money towards the store. Maybe they didn't have to close.
I know. Thousands of people, I think like 15,000 people showed up for this 4-day thing. So what they did, the store was already vacant. They turned it into like a party, an art installation, music, dancing, mazes.
Fun.
Food, everything. And everyone was encouraged to write down their favorite memories of the store. Like I was reading, there was an installation where you would write your favorite memory on a balloon. And then you go to the second floor and there was another thing like that. But it was a whole farewell festival.
I love it. I love it.
I know. You don't think about those things, but like we have our routines that bring us a lot of comfort.
Oh, yeah.
When those things close.
Oh, when a restaurant we like closes, it's like someone shot us in the leg. When Swingers
Yeah.
closed.
That was sad.
And during COVID, remember, they were going to be gone forever. I donated money. I signed a thing. I signed a petition. I donated.
The one in Santa Monica, I'm sad, is gone. That one was
That
so
one is
cool,
so
too.
iconic. And that's where they filmed, I feel like, everything.
I get upset when Trader Joe's just discontinue something.
Oh my
We've talked about
yeah,
this.
I can't even talk about that. Piss me off. And I'm so fucking hungry right now. So I want
know,
to stop
me
talking
too.
about
Me too.
food, actually. But that's cool.
So there you have it, a dead mall.
Hey, we don't love a dead mall.
No, but We love a term.
We love them all.
We love them all. We
love
love the
'em all,
dead.
and we love you all. And you know what? Some malls deserve an obituary, if
Okay.
you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have one for a mall. Just kidding. Imagine.
Perfect.
That'd be so
That'd be
fitting.
cool.
This was actually, I found it. So there's a, I'm like, I hate Reddit, but then I like secretly love all the little subgroups. And there's one called death certificates.
Oh, no
And
way.
there's like, it shows like old death certificates and stuff.
Cool.
But this one, it's cool because like a lot of people will post old death certificates, like this one from 1914, and it's all obviously written by hand, but it has a crazy story attached to it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So someone found this death certificate, and there was a news article attached to it. And so I don't want to tell you what the death certificate said until I read this, but it said, man insane, 2 deaths. Geo Bickford slays son and commits suicide. Geo. Sad affair at Potter Valley. In a sudden insane frenzy last Saturday at his home in Potter Valley, Geo is George. I guess they used to abbreviate it.
Oh.
George Bickford, a well-known rancher of that place, attacked his 10-year-old son, David, slashing his throat with a pruning saw and crushing his skull with a hammer. Bickford then slashed his own throat in a horrible manner with the pruning saw, and after being brought to the Langland Hospital in this city, committed suicide last Tuesday afternoon by cramming his bedclothes down his throat and choking himself to death. The boy lingered at the hospital until Saturday evening about 9 o'clock when he passed away from the shock and the loss of blood.
My God.
The affair is one of the most lamentable that has occurred in this county for years. Bickford had been exhibiting signs of insanity for several days previously, and on the morning of the tragedy appeared at the home of Joe Adams, a neighbor, acting very irrationally. Mr. Adams tried to pacify him and invited him and the boy to breakfast. After the meal, they followed Mr. Adams into the field where he was working, and Bickford suddenly grabbed a pruning saw which was hanging on a stake and attacked Adams, slashing him across the shoulder. Adams ran to his house to telephone Sheriff Burns, and Bickford and the boys started for their home. On the way, Bickford attacked the boy and vainly tried to sever his jugular with the saw. He was unable to do so, and on arriving at the house, procured a hammer and struck the lad in the head with it, fracturing his skull but failing to render him unconscious. And then he attempted to cut his own throat with the saw. Bickford was committed to the state hospital Monday morning, but managed to carry out his intention to commit suicide while he was unattended for a time. He was discovered dead Tuesday afternoon, and the indications were that he had choked himself with his bedclothes, as stated above. Mrs. Bickford, who was in San Francisco, was sent for at once by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Dave Squires, and arrived at home Saturday evening. The funeral of the lad was held Sunday, interment being in the Ukiah Cemetery. So the death certificate basically says, like, for the dad, says strangulation, a piece of cloth down his throat.
Holy shit, that's brutal.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Violent.
Very violent. Terrible.
Who you got?
All right. I have Ronald Wilburn Fries. He was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee on February 14th, 1943. Oh, that rhymes. To Mr. Rufus Bubba Wilburn Fries and Mrs. Florin Tucker Fries. Ron's childhood and early adult life were filled with time spent with his family in Columbus, Georgia, where his family was well known in many social circles around Columbus. Ron and his older sister Diane spent much of their childhood traveling around the country with their parents. The family was tight-knit, and Ron grew up surrounded by family members that loved and cared for him. Ron's mom was a homemaker while his father worked for the DuPont company throughout his life. Ron was a Boy Scout and eventually attended Auburn University, where he graduated on August 24, 1965. His love for Auburn University never went away. He was an avid Auburn fan, often sporting Auburn collegiate wear wherever he went. At the age of 22, Ron enlisted in the United States Army in 1966 and served as a sharpshooter. He was honorably discharged from the Army in December of 1971. Ron met and married Joy Tucker Fries, and the two moved to Birmingham, where they resided for the remainder of their lives. At the time of his wedding, Ron was employed with the Tom Huston Company. Ron and Joy together welcomed 2 daughters, Bethany and Leslie. After his time in the military, it is believed that Ron went to work for John Paul Mitchell as a sales director. Ron sold hair and beauty products across the Southeast, and from several accounts, greatly enjoyed this line of work. In 1985, Ron's wife Joy passed away after a brief battle with ovarian cancer. Ron then assumed the role of both mom and dad to their 2 young daughters. Ron was a doting father and did everything he could to provide for his girls. Both Bethany and Leslie, as teenagers, were employed at the River Chase Galleria, where Ron eventually worked as a security guard. In 1998, Florine Tucker Freeze, Ron's mother, died at her home in Slidell, Louisiana. Sadly, tragedy would continue to strike Ron after the death of his wife and mother when both of his daughters died in 1999 from different forms of cancer. Ron was devastated at losing both of his daughters within 6 months of each other. After the passing of both Bethany and Leslie, Ron seemingly kept to himself. Ron spent much of his time during retirement in Hoover and surrounding areas where he would frequent the River Chase Galleria, Brookwood Mall, and local libraries. He would walk the malls during the daytime hours, interacting with many people at the malls each day. Ron's presence became very well known at each of these places. Many have stories of interactions with him over the last 3 decades. There are numerous stories from people within the community sharing of Ron's kindness, generosity, and approachable demeanor. Stories of him taking cookies and candy to mall employees, stories of him recounting his days in the army, stories of him knowing Elvis Presley. So many stories of his life. Yet he remains a mystery to most who knew him or of him. With his jet black sideburns and his affinity for Elvis, he became known to many as the Galleria Elvis. For many, it was a joy to continually spot Ron walking around the River Chase Galleria. Some have stories of seeing Ron at the Brookwood Mall in the mornings, and he would be seen later the same day at the River Chase Galleria. Ron seemingly felt comfortable at these places that he frequented regularly. While a lot of Ron's life is unknown, there are many who loved him. The community and city of Hoover have revered him as a local icon and legend. And then it gives details for his funeral. But this man was a mall walker. There's all these news articles about him, and he lost, all of his family. And so the city of Hoover gave him a proper burial with full military rights.
I love that.
They gave him a final hearse ride around the mall. And the police and firefighters of the city were his pallbearers.
Incredible.
Isn't that incredible?
Incredible.
I'll post a picture of him. He's awesome looking.
I want a movie about him.
I know.
I love a legacy like that.
I know.
Couldn't you picture it? Mall Elvis.
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah.
Artsy, get like a Scorsese on that.
I know. And he's so cute.
Well, what's not cute is people not following the law.
Ain't that the truth?
Uh-huh. And we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
It means it's time for some dumb
ass criminals.
Girl,
tell me, girl.
Girl, we've all been down bad before for a man. We've all done things we're probably not proud of, girl. We've all probably just done some wild things. But this woman took her desperation for her ex-man and did something so crazy.
Okay.
So diabolical.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I was like, okay.
Fuck. Okay, give it to me, girl.
Florida police have released a video of the arrest of a suspect accused of kidnapping the wife of her ex-boyfriend by impersonating a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent.
No.
This bitch.
What?
This bitch's ex moved on, and she said, "You're happily married? Surprise, I'm ICE."
Oh my God.
The Bay County, this is from NBC San Diego. The Bay County Sheriff's Office in the Florida Panhandle's Panama City metropolitan area released a video on Monday of the April 10th arrest. After receiving reports of a suspicious incident, the Sheriff's Office said deputies responded to the Bridge Plaza apartments where they found a resident who was sheltering the victim. It was determined that the suspect, LaTrance Battle, came to the victim's place of employment and identified herself as an ICE agent, which is so fucked. I don't mean to laugh, but it's so
It's
fucked
just
up.
so, yeah.
The Bay County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, LaTrance was wearing a black shirt with ICE printed on the front, portrayed a sheriff's office business card, and had a handheld radio. Police said while at the victim's workplace, Battle ordered her to get in the vehicle or else Battle would call in more ICE agents. The victim complied out of fear, telling police she believed she was an ICE agent because she's in the process of becoming a legal U.S. resident. While both were inside the vehicle, Battle forcefully snatched the victim's phone as she was trying to contact her husband and her lawyer. Little did she fucking know her husband was once with this woman.
Oh my God.
She took the victim to an apartment complex, telling her they were going to pick up more ICE agents, which further fueled the victim's suspicions that this was not a legitimate federal officer. When Battle left the vehicle and went inside an apartment, the victim fled and got help from a neighbor at the complex who was sitting in his car. As the victim was hiding behind the neighbor's vehicle while contacting police, Battle went up to the neighbor and asked if he had seen a woman running, police said. The neighbor told her no and asked why she took someone's phone, and LaTrance said she knows what she did.
Oh, shit.
The report said that the victim's husband identified Battle as his ex-girlfriend, who told the victim she had to, quote, suffer the consequences of her husband's actions.
What?
The husband said he had a restraining order against Battle before she attacked him at his workplace 2 years ago. A deputy further investigated and found that Battle was on probation until 2026 for aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony.
Relentless.
Battle has been charged with kidnapping, robbery by sudden snatching, impersonating a law enforcement officer, and violation of probation.
She's a menace.
Crazy. Oh, you want to see her?
Yeah. She needs to be locked up.
There she is, girl. She got that ponytail from Amazon like you.
Oh, shit. I have the same hairstyle. Damn. Oh, she doesn't look sorry.
She don't look right.
She's mad she got caught.
She's fought in so many battles that her last name is Battle. I know that.
I know. Shit.
Who do you got?
All right. I've got a crazy one that will probably need to unfold on Cult Leader, to be honest.
Oh,
but
shit.
this headline caught my eye. It is insane. Okay.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This is from CBS Austin. This is from March 1st, 2025. So this just happened. What, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
A month ago. A woman will spend, this is in Florida though, Volusia County, Florida. A woman will spend decades in prison after she murdered her elderly roommate and poured Mountain Dew on herself in an attempt to destroy evidence.
She did the did. She do the do.
I mean,
Fuck.
like Diet Coke can take like rust off of pennies.
Yeah,
and shit,
what does Mountain Dew do? It takes the teeth out of.
Police responded to a call regarding a fire at a residence at around 1:46 a.m. on July 1st, 2023. When they arrived at the home, they found a deceased 79-year-old man on the second floor of the burning home with signs of blunt force trauma and stab wounds. Police also found a bloody knife and 2 cell phones near the victim's body, one of which belonged to the man's roommate, 37-year-old Nicole Max, who was not in the area when officers arrived. Officers found Max at around 3 a.m. walking without shoes near a restaurant, holding a knife and a hammer. The officer that found her said she had blood on her leg and on her shirt, which was ripped. Police asked Max where she lived and if she knew the victim, and she said she had been homeless for 4 years and did not know the man. She eventually admitted that she did know him and lived with him for a short time, but that she did not see him often, at which point she also admitted she was not homeless. She was taken in to custody. When officers told Max they were going to take a DNA sample from her, she asked for a Diet Mountain Dew. They gave it to her, but she began to procrastinate while drinking the soda until a detective eventually tried to take it away from her. Max began to resist and began pouring the can of soda all over her body and hair.
It's not going to do it, girl.
And pulling away from officers in attempts to interfere with the possible evidence on Max's body. Max then began pulling and kicking officers while trying to secure Max in the vehicle. Due to Max's actions, she was charged with tampering with evidence and resisting with violence.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking
Yeah.
scary.
Nutcase.
Nutcase. But Mountain Dew, come on.
Come on.
It's
Get
not gonna do
real.
anything but make you sticky.
It's going to Mountain Dew you some time in jail.
Uh-huh.
Is what that's going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to go do what we got to do, and we'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners
And obituaries.
and
Ass Criminals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.